Mike's already lost it. Well, he was losing it before we started because we were joking around, and thankfully my microphone was muted.
Yeah.
Trust me, when you're in the business like this, no matter how amateurish you are or how professional you are, pretend to be, the first thing you learn is the mic is always hot. Him, on the other hand, no. But I like to slip something in there, like
who the fuck is that guy?
which was what I thought about doing by putting you on here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about just doing this and saying,
who the fuck is that guy?
But I don't know.
Oh,
I'm just in one of my moods.
it's okay.
But we didn't. I mean, we put zero effort in this show tonight. Well, we do have. Well, I did put some last minute effort because I don't know if it's because of my ADD, ADHD, LMNOP. A lot of time, and same is true on Friday nights because I did see Steve last week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And he goes, "Oh, Friday." Was it because he went to wrestling on Friday night a couple weeks ago, or was it because Jerry found out that they do shows on Friday nights at Constadter's inside?
Okay.
So to one of those two, I said, just let me know with enough time in advance so that I can do my prep for also eligible,
Right.
like earlier in the day, as
Right.
opposed to, getting back home at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then be up to 3 o'clock and I'm asleep on the rocker behind me and all that. But, I just think that homework, I've always did it at the last minute. Tasks at work, always did it at the last minute. I never did anything for the satisfaction of getting it done early. I always did it last minute, and more times than not, it worked. But like one day I took one of my finals exams on like the next to last day when I was taking them online.
Oh, that.
Things like that. So.
Okay.
But and it used to piss off my teachers because
Right.
my professors at Drexel, because it's like, well, you got to do the initial post. You got to do the initial post by Friday, and then you got to respond by Tuesday. It's like, I don't start reading the material until Saturday. But anyway, so I don't know. We're going on a rant here. And Mike found out that I had a power outage last week, and I don't remember what day it was. Actually, I can find out because I made an emergency run to Dunkin' because it might have been Wednesday.
I think you said Wednesday.
I'm trying to pull up the Dunkin' app. I pulled up the Acme app. Yes, I get a pop-up here. Make this week a winner. I thought it said make it a wiener.
Ah.
Previous orders. No. Oh, well. Transaction history. Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wake up. Well, I wasn't on Thursday either, so,
Yeah.
because I got caught up in the Field of Dreams game.
Yeah.
And AJ said the worst thing to me
What's that?
a couple weeks ago. I may not do my show tonight, because of the weather or whatever. He goes, okay. I'm like, dude, that's the worst thing to say to me because, I can find an excuse for anything than not doing these shows. But,
Right.
and, but did my show on Tuesday, did everything I had to do, and I had my, like, if I do my article the night before, like today I didn't,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, do I really want to write about a claiming race at parks? Or do I want to roll the dice and see what another one of my sites that I look at is offering?
Hmm.
So I ended up using Ellis Park. Ellis, where the fuck? But so last Wednesday I had the article ready to go, and don't you know, 8:45. I mean, it sounded in here like the nuclear reactor shut down.
Okay.
Well, it was mainly just that because I'm laying on the couch, and the next thing you know, lights go out and everything else, and of course, Pico wants to tease the shit out of you because I'm getting alerts on my phone from Xfinity because there's an outage of your Xfinity. Yeah, no shit, it's called a power outage.
Right.
So they said, by 11:45, 11:30, power goes on. All right. 2 minutes later, boom. Thankfully, it wasn't a hot day. But I'll let you know, if you ever move into this building,
Mm-hmm.
or basically any of the 8 buildings that Northeast Apartments runs,
Right.
Once you get to the other side of that door right here,
Mm-hmm.
you can't see shit. You can't see.
Wow.
Yeah. So when I ran to the store, I came back and I came in the side door,
Mm-hmm.
and turned the light on. Wasn't that good, not that much help, but it was enough to get me to get some bearings on where I was.
Right. That's all you needed.
Yeah. And by the way, even though some people will criticize that for swinging the first pitch,
Yeah.
yeah,
I would. Yeah.
he did get the runners over.
That's true.
So, so but the Phillies are up 4-3 right now. Got some breaking news out of Boston. An Arizona Diamondbacks player did not show up for the game tonight. I got info from this article, and I also found additional information here. Tommy John passed away. I gotta say, I love his underwear. Oh wait, wrong Tommy John. What else did I plan on talking about? Jesus Christ.
I don't know. What else did you talk about?
You can tell that we are in great hands tonight with me running this, because I don't know what I'm talking about. The Eagles lose the opener.
Okay.
Eagles lost. That's it. Goodbye. We're done.
That's it.
And whatever comes up. So if you feel like dropping something in the chat, feel free to do so. We'll see it. Unless you're somebody that I want to ignore for whatever. But
Yeah.
so, did you watch the Field of Dreams game on Thursday?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you do have Netflix.
Yes.
Okay. I gotta say, the whole corn thing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole the players coming through the cornfield, and also the Hall of Famers.
Right.
That never gets old.
It doesn't.
No. And and also after the game, Roger Clemens was at the game.
Yep, I saw that.
He and Cody reenacted a scene from the movie.
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it never gets old. So
Yeah.
It never does.
Yeah, and I mean, I did also see that next year the game will be on NBC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did. They did announce that,
Okay.
and they also announced who's going to be playing in that game next year.
It's the Angels and the Royals, right? I know the Royals is one of them.
I don't have a wrong, sir. Okay.
Okay.
But I do have this.
Oh,
It's Boston and KC.
Boston Pizza. Okay.
Yeah, because what they're
I
going.
said Royals.
Well, you didn't say Boston.
I didn't want to say Boston. I want to say Royals.
But anyways, yeah. So Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs. Well, he hit 1. He was helped with the second.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad for that guy.
I got it. Oh shit.
You realize how big a deal this is for the state of Iowa?
Yeah.
For this happening?
Mhm.
You know, it's like their economy goes from here to here every year when that happens.
Mhm.
You got the movie, then you got and included with the movie, every year, baseball said, well, let's reenact that. And Iowa's like, yeah, come on.
And that is a permanent stadium now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool beans.
Yeah. And they even had a AAA game there.
Really?
Yeah, St. Paul and Iowa played the Iowa Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I wonder if Kevin Costner has been to one of them games yet.
I think he was there for the first one.
I think you're right.
Because he was supposed to be there this year, but I don't think he. Well, if he was there, he wasn't on the screen. But,
Ray Liotta could have been there, right?
Didn't he die?
Oh, that's right. I was going to say James Earl Jones. I said, no, he died. He wouldn't be here.
Ray Liotta died 4 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, he couldn't be there.
But, yeah, most of the main cast is, well, Costner's alive, Liotta's dead, James Earl Jones is dead. There's a couple that are still in there.
Okay.
But, I mean, good luck getting tickets to that game, but
Exactly.
because they only, I don't even know how many they seat for that game.
I thought about
I think it was about 8.
About 7,000 to 8,000. Yeah, it's not a lot.
And
I think wouldn't it be because the Palestra only seats about 2,500 to 3,000, so it's even less than the Palestra.
no, Palestra holds 8.
It holds 8. Okay.
They usually have about 2,000 at the games. 7163 at the Field of Dreams game.
Gotcha.
But this year it was more fans at the game because there were a lot of Phillies fans. So you did have that.
A lot of Phillies fans.
Yeah. And there were Minnesota fans as well.
Yeah. Did we prove that we can beat Minnesota either in Minnesota or Iowa? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I would have done if I was in Minnesota, if we had the games in Minnesota, I was around Phillies fans.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, do this because, I'm sure they have PTSD of that game back in 2018. Fools. Yeah. Congratulations to the Miami Marlins losing both their challenges here. Or was it the Phillies that challenged the... No, it was the Phillies that challenged that walk on with JT's walk. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. But, yeah. So Phillies got a run there. They're up now 5-3. As you can see there. And one advantage that you have is if you come over to twitch.tv/Joe Quills, you get to see the updates on the screen. Wait till football season starts, because you're gonna have football and baseball coming at once, and I'm gonna be like, what the fuck did he say? But yeah. But,
Oh, that's what happened too. Didn't you say ESPN bought NFL Network?
Yeah.
I'm seeing it now. It came back.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So now, well, I can't do the red zone, but I can see NFL Network. So yeah.
I have both.
You have both?
Yeah.
But I thought we couldn't. You couldn't see one on because until ESPN had bought it, they were saying that.
No, the contract was up.
Oh. Okay.
The contract was up, so they blocked the two channels out.
Right.
And you knew that they were going to bring it back eventually.
I got you.
I thought it was going to be like the day after Labor Day,
Uh-huh.
because the season starts on Wednesday.
Right.
But no, they brought it back. They brought it back now, because I think they do have a couple of. I think they do have a couple of exclusive games on there during the preseason. Also, this time of the year, they'll just play game after game after game.
Yeah, they did. That's what they were doing.
And what they'll do is the first half would be one team, and the other half would be the other team's feed.
Is that what they were doing?
That's what they've done in past. No, I mean if it's a replay.
I got you. Schwarbaum would just be so lovely.
Yeah, he's do.
They're gonna walk in another room.
Mm-hmm. For the inning, Phillies 6 runs on 1 hit. All we got was 1 goddamn hit.
Right? You know he's not gonna swing.
Mm-hmm. You were saying?
Kyle, did you hear me? You weren't supposed to swing.
Yeah.
You're not a farmer. You don't have to swing in the dirt.
Well, he's on pace to break the strikeout record.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. I think he's on pace for 235, and the record's 225.
So he's either the Dave Kingman, either hit or miss.
But he hasn't really been hitting many home runs lately.
Yeah,
I mean,
he had season. Yeah, it's kind of cooled down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. He had a chance to tie a record this weekend, which he didn't do. He had a chance to tie, I think it's Giancarlo Stanton's record. Home run, Major League home runs in the most states.
Really?
Stanton's hit home runs in 22 states. Schwarber's hit in 21. But the Phillies did score a run there, so they're up. They're now up 5-3, and
Close to divine time.
well,
Yeah, he'll pitch tonight too.
well, here's the crazy thing with Kyle Schwarber,
What's that?
and this just updated on ESPN's site here. Kyle Schwarber's hitting 247 for the year. His on-base percentage is 366. Imagine if he cuts those strikeouts down some. But, I mean, he doesn't hit home runs all the time, but, it just seems like it.
Yeah, because when he does hit them,
Mm-hmm.
he hits them.
Mm-hmm. But, So let's shuffle up the Boston. That's what he's trying to
Say it again.
say.
Come on, you can do it.
Shuffle up the Boston.
Okay.
I do want to show this here first. This is from 9 years ago. A very famous first pitch. And he goes to throw the pitch. Whee!
Oh!
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
Ouch. Ladies and
Now-
gentlemen, we need a moment. Wow.
Now, I don't know if that was the reason why. Well, it was 9 years ago yesterday.
Right. Okay.
But I'm not sure if this was why this is the case. But the Diamondbacks put Ketel Marte on the restricted list because he did not show up to the ballpark today.
What's going on, Marte?
Now, when I first saw this ahead of time, I was thinking about that movie where the Boston Celtic gets kidnapped, Celtic Pride.
Right.
I was thinking that at first,
Okay.
with Dan Aykroyd, Damon Wayans, and Daniel Stern, and Shooter McGavin's also in it, Christopher McDonald.
Oh,
He's the
wow.
coach.
Shooter.
So they gave no reason. Arizona gave no reason for why he's on the restricted list. He was placed on the restricted list after he failed to show up for tonight's game. But so they delayed giving out their starting lineup because usually you give it out like a couple hours ahead of time.
Right.
And it's all electronic, and it's like, you put it in, and the Boston manager will get the AOL alert. You got mail. You got their lineup.
You got the lineup. AOL.
You got crabs. But so they did not have the lineup available until 15 minutes before game time. And rightfully so, because they're saying, well, maybe there's something going on. Also, with where Fenway is, it's a logistical nightmare getting in and out. But he left after the first inning of the Diamondbacks win over Atlanta on Friday with soreness in his left knee, but he played Sunday. So now he did go on to the restricted list last year. And really showing why he belongs on the Mets. But anyways, so his home was broken into during the All-Star break. He apologized for missing 3 games after flying back to his home in the Dominican Republic. So that was last year.
Right.
What it is this year, we don't know yet. But I did see additional information here.
Oh, you did get additional information?
Well, I did find something here.
Okay.
SI.com.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Carl Rasmussen on there. According to multiple reports, Marte was a no-show. Despite initially being included in the team's lineup as a designated hitter. According to Nick Picaro of the Arizona Central, Marte is doing okay physically. He just didn't show up to the ballpark. He reportedly arrived in Boston with the rest of the team, and the Diamondbacks expect him to play on Monday until he ultimately never showed at the stadium. So in what it was an unusual move, Arizona withheld its official lineup announcement because I mentioned usually it's a couple hours ahead of time.
Right.
At which point it was revealed that Marte would not be playing, and now he'd been placed on the restricted list. A player can be placed on the restricted list by their team due to unexcused absences, as well as personal or non-baseball related reasons. While on the restricted list, a player won't be paid, nor will they incur any service time. So the incident occurred more than a year after Marte was away from the team following last season's All-Star break, when he flew home to the Dominican Republic after his home in Scottsdale was burglarized. Wait a second. Wait. Let me read that again here because it makes zero sense. He flew back home to the Dominican Republic after his home in Scottsdale was burglarized.
The home get burglarized in Arizona. Oh, what am I going to do? Go home. Okay. Yeah, that makes no sense.
Well, I don't know, but Marte was away from the team for 3 games and issued a public apology for his absence after returning to the team. So the cause of his absence for tonight's game remains unclear as of right now, but he won't be available for the opener of a critical road series against Red Sox, and Boston is blasting the shit out of him tonight.
Are they?
Yeah, 10-1.
Ouch.
See, there's, that's another good thing about this is I can look and.
Jeez.
So, but that's not the first time he has disappeared like that. And this is one reason why I'm glad the Phillies did not go after him at the trade deadline last year, because they could have gotten him, but they didn't.
Good thing you did.
Because that would have been our problem.
Yeah.
But there isn't much out there yet. But I think what's going to happen here, I think we may not even find out what's going on even tonight. But I don't know. It's such a weird story. Just looking to see if I can find anything else here. They must have talked to him, because this kind of has a little bit of Darryl Kyle written on it. If you remember, about 15, 20 years ago, he died in his hotel room in Chicago.
It sounds familiar.
Okay. There may have been something, and this is just us speculating, so we're total outsiders in this, so we're only speculating here. I'm wondering if something's going on in his personal life, maybe in the Dominican Republic, maybe in Arizona, maybe his house got hit again or whatever. The only reason why I say that is and maybe he was saying, oh yeah, I'll be there. Yeah. So according to the Arizona Diamondbacks site, which is basically the same information I'm reading for the most part, no further details were released by the team. other than he didn't show up. But Jose Fernandez was recalled from AAA Reno and was in the lineup at third base. Now, let me see something here. And we're sleuthing this, you know. Don't ask me why, but we are. Okay, they were in Tacoma yesterday. So, was something up that we didn't know about? And the thing is, I will say this. The team doesn't have to give any information.
That's true.
You could just say, hey, it was a personal matter, that's it.
Yeah.
Respect his privacy, you know. There could be something going on that we don't know about. Especially considering the timing of this, where they're giving him a chance to show up. He apparently decides last minute he's not going to show up, from what it looks like. And this guy from AAA who's in Seattle has to take one of the longest flights in the United States, going from Seattle to Boston.
Right.
Because, you know, Seattle is way up here and Boston is way out here. Now, granted, it's not going from Boston to Seattle where it takes longer because you're flying into the jet stream.
Mm-hmm.
You're going from Seattle to Boston, where it'll be a little faster coming back east from west, because, you know, you got a little rocket under your ass. So, but I think this seems like they knew something was going on, at least to me, because there's no way you can get him from there to here. Let me see one thing. Let me see if wrong one.
Well, like you said, though, as with all teams, they don't have to give out any information about anybody. They just keep everything all in house.
What's his name? Jose Fernandez. Now, he was not in the lineup yesterday, so, you know, he might have been coming here for another reason. I mean, I'm pretending that something happened today. Oh, wait. No, wrong one. So he did not play on Sunday. He played in Saturday's game.
Okay.
So, and we're trying to sleuth this all together. You know, this isn't like it's a Philly that disappeared, but, you know, it just seems like something is going on. I think it's more than him just not showing up. I think it's, hey, I got an issue here with family or the wife or the kids or my right hand because it's not. Oh, sorry. But, you know, there's definitely something going on here.
Like I said, it's something you will probably never know.
Yeah. And maybe we will. But either way, when I saw this, as we were getting our final stuff ready, because, you know, there's some days where I know exactly what I'm talking about. 5 o'clock today, That's what it was. So,
It
but you know, so he's nowhere to be found now. Whatever it is, I hope it gets resolved. So, you know, but who knows? But anyways, last week, as we and it's hard to transition from that, but we're going from one dead dog story to another dead dog story. I should find that Casey Kasem thing. I'm coming out of a happy song here. You're giving me a dead dog dedication, something like that. But we do have did have the passing of Tommy John yesterday. Now, he did say his goodbyes last week when the Yankees had Old Timers Day. So he gave a vague message about his health after missing the Yankees Old Timers Day on August 8th, saying he wanted to say goodbye to everyone, including all his friends and fans who followed him throughout his 26-year career. So he knew his time was coming. And, I mean, I saw one quote from him that made me laugh. And he told his doctor that performed the surgery, I think it was Dr. Frank Jobe.
I think so, yeah.
He said, "Make my arm like Koufax." He said, "Little did I know it would be Mrs. Koufax."
That's funny. That's funny.
But think about it. If he does not have this surgery, or it fails miserably, we don't have essentially, and the Phillies are going to score here, you don't have a surgery right now, which is basically a rite of passage in sports.
Yeah, it is.
Because think about it. You have and there's a stat that I'm going to mention a little bit. It seems like with the way that everybody's pitching now, everybody is throwing 100 miles an hour minimum.
That's true.
I mean, there's a kid that pitches at the prep, going to be a senior this year. He's already throwing over 100 miles an hour.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, what are you going to do? But I just think that in some ways there's the technology there, and but there's also looking at the fact that your arm can only take so much, because this is a much more violent motion than throwing.
Right.
That's why Kent Colby never had an arm issue.
He sure didn't.
At least I don't think he did. But and even he said this is a more natural motion than that. But Tommy John passed away at 83 years old. And I forgot to go to Target today, see if that ain't Tommy John underwear. Wait, what? So he passed away in his home in Bradenton, Florida. The Yankees said in a statement, cause of death was not given, but he had been in hospice and had been diagnosed with bladder cancer and other ailments in recent years. Phone's out. This is the third straight game he's pitched. Because he pitched yesterday.
Yeah, but he didn't pitch on Saturday. Because Saturday's the blowout game. Remember? He didn't pitch on the Hall of Fame game because they blew him out, and then it was off Friday. Then he didn't pitch on Saturday because they
no,
blew
he
him
did.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's fresh. Yesterday was the first one, so he's okay with that.
He pitched Thursday.
He did pitch on the Philippines game?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, even though it's up, but he didn't have.
He had the double play at the end of the game.
That's right. So he pitched Thursday. He didn't pitch Friday. He pitched.
Well, he didn't pitch Friday because he didn't play on Friday.
Yeah, he's off Friday. He didn't pitch Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had 2 days off. Okay.
Yeah, so he won't be pitching tomorrow.
No, he won't pitch tomorrow. No.
I thought he pitched Saturday, but yeah. So.
He pitched a lot online yesterday. I'm kind of surprised he didn't win.
Well, these games are starting to mean a lot more. Arizona's losing, which is going to help the Phillies.
Yep. The Braves are losing, which is going to help the Phillies.
Yeah, Braves are losing to Minnesota.
Still 4-0?
Yep.
Cool.
San Diego lost.
Did they?
Yep.
Okay.
They lost to the New York Mets.
Well, that sounds all good for us today.
Mm-hmm. So, but going back to this story here, so he had all kinds of other ailments as well. He got COVID, I saw, and he ended up with another issue that led to him being temporarily paralyzed for a couple of months as well. The Yankees had a statement too. They said the Yankees mourned the passing of Tommy John, who was a bedrock for our rotation during his time in pinstripes, and a longtime favorite of Yankees fans. This incredible longevity and post-surgery achievements changed the fortunes and trajectory of countless athletes around the world. It also overshadowed his excellence as a pitcher, which included consecutive 21 seasons with the Yankees. So, I mean, he pitched 26 years. I mean, he was in the majors for 26 years. Now, he did something that I never saw anybody do before or again. There was a play, I think he may have been with the Yankees. And for some reason, the game, I think, was in Old Comiskey. He had 3 errors on the same play.
Oh, yeah.
He bobbled the ball.
Right.
That was 1 error.
Right.
They gave him a 2nd error because he threw it up the first baseline. Then he ended up being the cutoff man.
Oh,
he
no.
went to throw it home, and he threw it away again.
Oh, Dad.
So, we're making fun of that, but, we don't mean to. But he did share that vague message about his health after missing the Old Timers Day on August 8th. But, 26 years in the majors, wow.
I remember him being the Dodgers.
Yeah, he was with the Dodgers in 77 or 78 when he played in the ring.
When they played up, yeah.
So back then, in the 70s, it was a career-ending injury, what he had. He underwent ulnar collateral ligament reconstruction surgery of his left or pitching elbow in 1974, with the revolutionary procedure being performed by Dr. Frank Jobe. So I did have that right.
You did.
The procedure was named after John and not the doctor.
Right.
And has since become commonplace, performed on thousands of players, not just pitchers, with a typical recovery time of a year to 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, sometimes it's less. It also depends, like, especially in baseball, it's, well, how soon, what position are you playing and all that. Because, you could, I mean, look at Bryce Harper. He came back in what, about 8 months?
Yeah.
But he was DHing at the time. And, oh, by the way, the Phillies made it to the World Series. They made that surgery later and later and later.
Yeah.
So, so, so he was nicknamed the Bionic Man. He pitched 14 more seasons after the surgery.
That's amazing.
And the thing is, being a left-handed pitcher, you got a 10% chance of being left-handed. So, you can get away with a lot of stuff that you can't normally do with right-handers, and also back in that day, you could get away with 80 miles an hour fading in and 85, or whatever he would throw. But, so now the Dodgers, Stan Kasten said, Tommy was an exceptional pitcher throughout his career in Major League Baseball. His courageous role in becoming the first to have surgery that would go on to bear his name can't be overstated. His impact both on and off the field has been felt by ball players of all ages and will be for generations to come. Yeah. Now, if there's a way to get him into the Hall of Fame as a contributor to the game and not necessarily an actual player, because that was a good play there.
It was.
Because let's think about it. What he did saved many careers in the future.
A whole lot of careers.
And then there's Noah Syndergaard, who forgot how to pitch after he had it.
Yeah, he did.
But
oh, he just made it too.
Yeah.
Louise.
So, but yeah, some of the things that he did is pretty amazing. He has the second most wins of any pitcher since 1900 not to make it to the Hall of Fame.
Whoa.
He had 288 wins. He had 124 wins in 355 games at the time of the procedure. He pitched in 405 more games, winning 164, ending with a career record of 288 and 231. And he had a 3.34 ERA, 2,245 strikeouts, and 760 career appearances.
And he's not in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Okay. He's going to get in the Hall of Fame.
He should be.
Yeah.
Even if he's not in there as a player, just being a part of that surgery movement of, having his name on it. And even though we should be discouraging kids from throwing as hard as they can at such a young age.
We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
We talked about this a while ago.
Yeah.
They, like you said, and they come up, they don't encourage kids to throw like the sliders or the curveball.
Mm-hmm.
They say, no, throw the fastball. Yeah, go ahead and roll your arm. Go ahead. You can do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. When I pitched, it was, no, you're not throwing a curveball. You're not doing this. You're not doing that. But, all right, whatever.
But Tommy John changed baseball.
Yeah.
If you look at the different people who actually made a big impact on baseball, you should automatically be in the Hall of Fame because of that.
Yeah.
Him and Dr. Joe,
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know where he would fall with that vote that Pete Rose is going to be in. Because Pete Rose, I'm going to call it a Veterans Committee. I don't know what it is called, actually. But that's how Pete Rose would get into the Hall of Fame if he got in. Shoeless Joe would end up on there. I wonder if Tommy John has been part of that vote in the past, because once you get to it's just like the regular vote. After a certain point, you do lose eligibility that way too. But
I think he should get it there. I'm still against Rose getting in because of the morals clause that all players have to sign. But I think Tommy John should be in there.
Well, it's not the morals clause itself. I mean, even though you can do that, it's the no betting on baseball rule.
Right.
Now, it is it's been in every major league locker room from Kennesaw Mountain Landis and probably long before that.
Right.
No betting on baseball.
Yeah. No crying in baseball, no betting in baseball.
And avoid the clap.
Avoid it. That's good advice. Avoid the clap. Jimmy do good.
That's what I mean by when I was telling you earlier, like, how we go off on these tangents and stuff. Like, I have those quick one-liners that I sneak in every once in a while. Even though I do have a plan, and sometimes that plan is in my head. Sometimes I have it written down. Sometimes I have it in the YouTube. And sometimes I'm just like, fuck it. But, he pitched 26 years. He pitched for the White Sox, Dodgers, Angels, Indians, and Athletics. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't have said Indians because, that was an offensive name that we finally got rid of in 2022, wherever it was. No, sorry. I'm calling them Cleveland Indians because that was the name back then. Kind of like how Washington, when they won their Super Bowls, they won them as the Washington Redskins.
Yes, they did.
Some past should we erase? Kind of, sort of, it's like, well, what's the reason behind it? But, in a lot of cases, it's like, hey, yeah, we were savage assholes back in the 1800s, We're a changed country.
Yeah.
Or just because we did this 200, 300 years ago, that's not how we are as a country now.
Yeah.
Even though some people think that's still the case. But
I think he should, like you said, though, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like you said, as a contributor.
I don't know how that works exactly, but,
If, like you said, if you did a video, a testimonial of every pitcher who has got this surgery to change it, you want a resume?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Dot.
Yeah, exactly. So Tommy John also said in his post last week, or 10 days ago, thanks to Dr. Joe, who saved my arm and made it possible for me to continue pitching. That surgery has since gone on to save the careers of countless pitchers, including many of the very best in the game today.
Yep.
And also off of that, not only did we have the original Tommy John surgery, you now have the brace surgery, which, that's something that they do with the arm too. So they do have that as well. But so just some things here. Now, after the surgery, Tommy John's arm was in a cast for 4 months. Now, granted, you would probably put a brace on it or whatever, but So he had recovered his full range of motion in his arm by spring training of '75. and spent that season resting, healing and rebuilding strength in his arm. He worked with fellow Dodgers pitcher Mike Marshall, who had a doctorate in kinesiology,
Okay.
on learning a different grip.
Hmm.
So not only does he have the surgery, he also has a teammate who can give him some tips on what to do different this time around.
That's cool.
So interesting things here. I mean, but here's a crazy stat here. He was the opening day starter for the White Sox in 1966 and for the New York Yankees in 1989.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy.
Okay, so, and here's something I just see now because I was saying contributions to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, John and Job were honored by the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2013 for their contributions to the sport.
Okay.
So, you know, they probably have some sort of a display there or something like that. But, you know, it's not an actual plaque like we're thinking like they do with the NFL. Oh, you're a contributor to the game. You get to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You know?
Right.
So it's not the same, but they have honored him.
Okay.
But I know what you're saying about being in the Hall of Fame. So, do you know that original cast still exists?
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
He had donated the original cast from his surgery to the Smithsonian Institution in June 2022.
I can see that.
His teammates on the 74 Dodgers signed it, as did Job and Hall of Fame announcer Vince Scully.
I can see that. That's so cool.
Well, that was the thing back in the day when you had a cast. Everybody would sign it.
I remember that. I cut my finger on the meat slicer. I got with the high school. In high school, everybody signed my cast.
Was
Unfortunately,
it his finger?
I cut my right finger on my thumb. I got it cut. I had the cast, but I write with my left hand, so I still had to do homework.
Yeah. So now his oldest son became a chiropractor and wrote a book suggesting ways preventing young athletes from having to undergo major sports-related surgery similar to what his father endured.
That should have been the bestseller, but no one reads it.
I wonder if it's available. But I mean, some crazy stuff there.
Interesting stuff. I take that, kid.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, you kind of knew he wasn't long for the world when he was saying his goodbyes
Okay.
to the fans at Yankee Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
You just had that feeling. It's like, but you know, but then the alert comes. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
But the Phillies did win tonight, 6-5.
Yay!
Christopher Dirty Sanchez is a 16-game winner.
Yep. Who gets the 20 wins?
You know what the interesting thing is?
What's that?
The first pitcher to 10 wins this year was a reliever.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Gee.
So I'm just changing things up here right now for our personal entertainment while we talk with you guys here. And
What you got in mind?
yeah, fuck it.
Dodgers winning, huh?
Yep. And you got a potential World Series matchup in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I believe that would be the Red Line series, if I remember.
Okay. Chicago.
And the only reason why I say that is because I believe the Red Line, which has a station beyond right field at Wrigley,
Mm-hmm.
goes to the White Sox Stadium, right field.
What is like this? The Yankees and Mets Subway Series, like that?
Well, it would be the equivalent of that, but the
Gotcha.
difference is you actually only have to take one train to get there.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, the White Sox are a year or two away, but they're turning things around this year.
I'm actually rooting for them. So, but when they played last year, how they played this year, that's encouraging.
I think they were like 400 to 1 to win the World Series at the beginning of the year.
Well, you put money on them, you would be, drinks would be caught. They'd be knocking on your door. They win something. Yeah.
But yeah, so Rockies are going to Rocky. So now you watched the Eagles game.
Yes.
I did not.
You didn't miss anything.
I didn't think so. Because they only had 6 first downs in the game.
Disappointed in the quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
or both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, you were listening to WIP on the way up here, right?
Yes.
Or whatever.
But yeah, I was to baseball game.
Or you were actually listening to whatever sports talk about the Eagles over the last couple of days.
Yeah, this morning, yeah.
Okay. And I think they were saying, don't worry. Don't worry about this game.
If they were saying it, I didn't hear that.
Or were they saying be worried?
They were saying be worried. And especially my buddy, I do like John Ritchie, but he gets too over the top sometimes as far as his analysis. And to me, someone who played the game, you should know better.
Well, it's shock jock shit.
Yeah.
Especially during morning drive.
Yeah, but he's a former football player.
But he also has CTE.
But I was explaining that.
But
yeah, they were saying be worried. Especially what they were saying about be worried as far as the quarterback is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
The defense looked good.
Now, I will say this. I would be somewhat worried, even though I never watched the game because I was watching the Phillies game, and then when the Phillies game was over, I watched UFC because UFC was in Philly. But I would be, even though I didn't watch the game and I didn't go and look to see if it's replayed on NBC Sports Philly or even NFL Network. By the way, NFL Network is back on Comcast. Just in time for when I was ready to say, fuck you, Comcast.
And I remember you told me about a couple weeks ago, you were about to tell them adios amigo.
Yeah. Right. Actually, I was probably going to do it today or tomorrow. But they did announce a week or two ago, and I shared it. Those that are friends with me on Facebook, that was an article I shared from Awful Announcing, I think it was. So, it was basically the contract was up. Obviously, ESPN, NFL Network, they want their money. And Comcast said, no. And they said, well, you're not showing any of our programs. You're not showing our channels.
Yep.
It's okay. We'll come back in August. I thought it would be September. Like either Labor Day or Tuesday, right before the season starts. But you got them back right in time for opening week of the preseason. Even though we did have one game before that, but I'm not worried too much. But in a way, I am, because, and it may just be big game, because think about it. Baltimore for years, even though you have a new regime this year, Baltimore always wins in the preseason.
That's true.
I mean, they had a streak of winning, 19 or 20 in a row?
That's true, yeah.
So I just think, part of me says be worried because they just didn't show up. And some of those guys may have to step in at some point, because the one thing I say to everybody is the fact that, oh, by the way, you do have, these guys are going to have to step in at some point.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you get to a certain point of the game where it's basically one big.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
Like that Eagles quarterback that threw that touchdown, the left-hander, whoever.
Who the fuck is that guy?
I don't know who it was either.
Yeah. So I'm kind of worried. I'm kind of not. Now, it's going to be a big guessing game for the regular season, because they're not going to put Saquon out there. They're not going to put Jalen Hurts out there. Devontae Smith is not going out there. Especially because this is the week that if you were going to put them out there, it would be this week.
That's true.
However, you got joint practices this week, so you can get your feel of the team in these joint practices.
Right.
And hopefully nobody on the Eagles makes a comment about Diana Rossini to Mike Vrabel.
Dude.
Or maybe the Eagles bring in Maury Povich to decide if he's the father or not.
You got a million.
When it comes to 5-year-old Mikey, because I think that's what the kid's name is, Michael.
Is it okay?
Conveniently, you are not the father. You are the father. Oh, fuck.
You made a point earlier, which is why I'm not worried. Because, like you said, the Ravens, as far as the preseason games, they probably might be one of the only few teams in the preseason play preseason that actually care about the preseason.
But you have a new coach this year, so.
And they still won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I would think, and this is just me thinking aloud.
Okay.
I would think that if you got more than 6 first downs in the game, I would feel a little bit at ease. You don't even need to score more than 7 points, but it just seemed like from what I was hearing, it was basically 3 plays punt, 3 plays punt, 3 plays punt.
It was.
And when you have a new offense, that's going to be a problem.
Well, here's my kind of argument. If you're running the offense with the first team with the quarterback, the second string or third string quarterback don't get a lot of reps. So
yeah,
it could be they were really, really not familiar. So you're going to get that 3 and out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get that to them this week. Next week, when they come in, it better do better.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I say. They better do better, because between the redhead and the third string guy, yeah, they impressed me about women. There you go. That much.
I think you're giving too much credit.
Yeah, that probably was too much credit.
But I want to say that it's be somewhat worried because, and I'm not saying this to jinx Jalen Hurts or anything like that, but there's a reason why you have a second string and a third string quarterback and you have backups and all that because this is the NFL.
Yep.
And you know what the NFL stands for?
What's that?
Not for long, as in being uninjured.
Here's my counter argument, and we talked about this last year.
Mm-hmm.
The teams, when they play they don't play the preseason, and I think you and I both said it usually takes them 2 or 3 games in the regular season before they actually start to get going,
Mm-hmm.
because they stop playing in the preseason.
Yeah.
Except for the few teams like the Baltimore Ravens who actually play.
Yeah.
That's probably the reason I'm really not a little worried, but I'm not worried because all the teams do that. They all wait till the 3rd or 4th game of the regular season before they decide.
Yeah.
I guess it's time for us to start playing there.
Now, because they have the joint practice this week in Foxborough,
Yeah.
that will prevent Jalen, Saquon, Devontae, whoever else. They'll keep them from playing in the game.
Right.
Because they'll get their action during the week.
That's true.
So, and you're not going to have this at 50%, 75%, whatever practice speed is. You're probably going to have closer to 100%.
Yep.
And, I'm sure somebody will try to spear A.J. Brown right in his balls. I mean, somebody's going to go Goldberg on him. Boom!
Goldberg! Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm somewhat worried, but,
I wouldn't be.
But I'm just looking at, if there's something where somebody is actually hurt.
Yeah, see, that would be the biggest thing.
That's why I'm worried.
Okay.
And, it's the first preseason game. I'm not necessarily looking for a team to score 35, 42 points.
No.
I'm looking for some semblance of fluidity in the offense. And from what I was gathering from catching a piece of the replay of the post-game show and what I was catching on the news and what I'm catching from you, basically, aside from that drive where they scored the touchdown late in the game when it didn't matter, well, it didn't really matter even if it was a close game. It's I'm not worried about it.
It was not, like you said.
But I am kind of worried because the first quarter, first half is what I'd be worried about more than anything else because these games are about getting these guys on the field, getting them some video because if you get some video, okay, well, maybe we're cutting him today or maybe Tuesday, or maybe they're on their way to New England tomorrow, let's say. And if they are, then coincidence that I'm right, because I don't know the itinerary or anything. But if you go to, it may be, give me your iPad, you're out.
Yeah. Where's your playbook? Thank you.
Just don't do what you did to what USC did to Lane Kiffin and said, you get him on the tarmac, find your own way home.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Yeah, so, but, I'm somewhat worried.
Continuity. Like I said, first game, they didn't show it. They need to show it the second game. But
Yeah.
Like I said, the first team, they're going to be practicing all this week, so they're probably going to have the reserves in for next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Do more than 3 and out. Even if you go 5 plays, 6 plays, get a first down, at least don't do the 3 and 8, 3 and out.
Yeah.
The first 2 or 3 series. Don't do
Yeah.
that. That's not showing me anything.
No, doesn't show anything.
No.
Shows
you're not ready to step on the field.
Yeah. And I'm just peeking at something here. Nothing worth Okay. Just trying to see here, anything new on the Ketel Marte? No, nothing on ESPN. So I'm just looking to see if there's anything new on that. There isn't. Only because it is a little weird. They just that they're making like, oh, he just didn't show up, but you called that player in from the West Coast. It's almost like something's going on. Just don't mention it.
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
just
blah.
not mention it. Yeah.
The Lakers were sold again.
Jeannie Buss is not happy with it.
Looking at that right now. So Jeannie Buss is contesting her siblings' vote to sell the family's remaining 17.8% share of the Lakers. So the Buss family voted to sell their remaining shares to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger at the same $12.5 billion valuation that Mark Walter agreed to last week. They believe they have the right to sell based on a tag-along provision that had been included in the previous sale to Walter in June of 25. Sources told ESPN the provision gave the family rights to tag along on any sale and valuation Walter secured for his shares. Now, Jeannie was to remain the team's controlling owner through 2030. Bob Iger told the California Post that last week that he intended to honor that agreement with Buss, but he added if something changes, then it changes. Iger met with Buss late in the week, and the two discussed the transition from Walter. Should the sale of the family go through, the family stake, Jeannie would no longer have the needed ownership percentage to remain governor of the team. So I think that's why she's doing it. So,
Okay.
But it looks like there may be a little bit more to this, but it does seem weird as well because of the fact that also, if you think about it, the owner that just bought the team is flipping the team like it's a house. So that is that, and I mean, I don't blame her, but it's like, but I think it almost looks like there's something goofy going on there.
What are they saying?
Yeah, so that's, I mean, what they're showing on the TV is they're trying to update the story here.
Right.
Ketel Marte did not report to Fenway today. He's dealing with personal matters. But trying to see if there's anything new here, even on that. And I can't. I mean, I could turn the TV up, but I don't. Just looking to see if I can find anything new here. So the way that one post on X was, it seemed like that they knew they had a personal issue ahead of time. So it doesn't seem like it is a Celtics pride movie type thing with him.
Right.
Even though conveniently he was in Boston and the story is about a Boston Celtic getting kidnapped. But it seems like there is an issue here, and hopefully it gets it straightened out.
Let's hope so. Hopefully that's
Just looking to see anything else here. Okay, so the Eagles held their final open practice today before heading up to New England. Devontae Smith returned to action today.
The open practice was today? I thought it was tomorrow.
Their last one here in Philly.
Okay,
They're
tomorrow.
going up to New England probably tomorrow.
Gotcha, okay.
So the Eagles had this is on the Inquirer website. Eagles had a relatively light workout ahead of their trip to Massachusetts. First unit players, most of whom didn't face the Ravens, took most of the team drill repetitions. The same will likely hold for joint practices. Nick Sirianni is hoping the sessions with the Patriots carry a lot of weight ahead of the regular season, especially for his offense as it learns a new scheme. If Saturday showed anything, it's that there could be a prolonged learning curve.
That's true.
So Mannion said he may open up the playbook a little bit more in Foxborough.
It was pretty vanilla on Saturday, for the most part.
The Eagles should have their entire projected starting lineup if Smith goes to New England, so for the joint practices. But they are also saying that Jalen Hurts gained a step this year.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. They've been talking to the offensive linemen. They say he looks a little bit faster this year than the previous years.
Yeah. Maybe he was hurt, or maybe just a figment of their imagination or whatever. But yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, just to remind everybody, Saturday morning is also eligible day, and I'm going to be looking at the races from Del Mar. They got the big one, the Pacific Classic, a field of 11 in that race.
Oh.
So no real big name, I don't think. But they're touting a filly running in this race, but she's 20-1. Ohm and Joy, because she closed twice in races against the fillies. No. Just looking at some of these horses here. Oh wait, wrong one. There it is. Forge Steel, Finger, Knightsbridge, who's starting to come into his own. He's going to go the 1.25 miles. Full Serrano. So Hit Show's going to be running. He won the Dubai World Cup last year in 25. So you do have some. So you do have a field of 11 in that race. I also mentioned the Green Flash Handicap. That is a win and you're in for the turf sprint. That will be race 5, and that has a field of 10. So that will be a big race on Saturday as well. And I'm going to throw in a couple additional races here probably, especially if I'm alone on Saturday. Because if that's the case, then I can go to a 3rd race, go to a 4th race. But these are guaranteed Pacific Classic and Green Flash. And Mike's writing down information for some unknown reason. But that'll be Saturday. And my article will be up in the morning. It will be Parks. It will be the Smarty Jones Stakes that I'll be looking at. That is, let me just check one thing here, because I'm 99% sure I'm going tomorrow, just to get some content. just want to check one thing here. There was 15 nominations. 6 horses are going to run. Let me just read this here. The first 3 finishers in this race receive free nomination entry and starting fees into the Pennsylvania Derby. And should a horse win both the Smarty Jones and the Pennsylvania Derby, the listed owner and trainer of said horse in the Pennsylvania Derby will each receive a bonus of $50,000.
Nice.
But nobody from the Smarty Jones has come back and won the Pennsylvania Derby. So, and you do have a field of 6 coming up here. I can actually pull that up here. So, and the one thing is for those that are actually let's go to the main page here first. So if you go to the main page here, Pork Chop, welcome in. Hope you're doing well out there.
Hey, dude.
Hopefully the wildfires have cleared up out there. I haven't been paying attention to the news lately. Okay, so here's the main page for the Daily Racing Form. And of course, I have an ad blocker, so I'm blocking shit out. So you got the latest stories and stuff like that. So the one thing is you can go over to here and, you know, mind you, I'm already logged in here. So let me log out here. So you get here, log in / sign up. So if, let's say you want to look at tomorrow's race because I'm writing it, I'm already telling you that's going to be my story tomorrow, be my article tomorrow. You just log in. Well, new to DRF, you click on that. You put in your email, you set your password, country, zip code, and then you put in your username, and you're all set and ready to go. And then once you're logged in, you can access tomorrow's race here, which I need to log in again. So you go in there and you just go in here, you pull up the program, and you can look here, and you got a field of 6 going in this race. This is a local horse here that's looking to make it to the Pennsylvania Derby, and won the Lily T, which is a state bred race, won by 14 3/4. So in a short field like this, probably could just take the lead and run with it. Very volatile, comes in from Colonial Downs, and even with Colonial Downs here, even though he didn't do anything in this race, the one thing I would say is I have such a hard time. And by the way, just to let you know, Mike, the wind has been kind to him lately, and they pushed the smoke elsewhere.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it pushed it over here because they said it was a little hazy here last week. Star Sweeper was in the Haskell when Baby Vino won. Also ran against Schoolyard Superman, AJ's horse, who finished second in that race, but was injured. Freedom's Echo, another local horse. I think that's Micanopy. Ran at Delaware Park, coming up 95 for that. And Tifosi will have the one hole. Just looking at this, just scanning this for you guys, just showing how you get the free programs. It looks like it's gonna be just the 6. So, and since we're in this, if it's free, it's for me type stuff. And since Mike is here, I might as well show him, you know. Be like, wait a second, he rode up Ellis Park today? I don't see Ellis Park here Well, first I want to show you this. You can get a few days ahead of time, like I try to do, but I never do because, like I said to Mike earlier in the show, the ADHD kicks in and I do everything last minute. Like I can sit here tonight if I really wanted to and write tomorrow's race, Wednesday's race, Thursday's race, Friday's race. I could do that if I wanted to. I can go in here, pull up Saratoga, there you go, and start writing. But I won't. So other ways you can get free programs, even if it's just a race. And one way of doing it is going to Equibase. They have a race a day. Sometimes they align with the daily race inform and they have the same race. Today, they did not. They had a race from Ellis Park. So, so they did that. So that was theirs. Now, I'm going to bring up Brisnet. This is another option that you have if people wanted to use it. So, and I have not done this year. I almost did with Canterbury one night because I was like, actually when we had the power outage last week.
Okay.
I was like, man, if this power outage goes until 3:30, I'm writing Canterbury. And then I looked, Canterbury wasn't running. I was like, oh.
Okay.
So, oh, they do have Ellis Park. It's free programs. Okay. So when you log in, you scroll down to free premium PPs.
Oh.
Click on that. Now, they offer 3 different tracks this time of the year. They offer Canterbury, which is in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
They have Ellis Park. I wonder if this means they're going to have free programs from Churchill Downs in September, because Ellis Park is a CDI track. So that's another way of getting free programs. There's also a third track that they have, Century Mile, which is in Edmonton. They have they have their races. They have their programs on here. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it is. So that gives you that. So those are a couple different ways you can do that. So Mike is making notes here, and Pork Chop is our soccer expert. Kevin Sullivan had a great game this weekend, 2 assists versus NYCFC. Yeah, that was a great comeback, and
Yes, they did.
And the one thing is, they won 4 times as many games in the second half than they have in the first half. Or, I'm sorry, 5 times more if you count that Leagues Cup game, which doesn't mean anything. But they won a grand total of 1 game in the MLS in the first half of the season. How many have they won since the break, the World Cup break? Hopefully it's
11. Right.
But yeah, so I mean he's like 16 or 17, and within the next year or 2, he's going to one of the English Premier League teams, and I heard which one it was, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I'm sure Pork Chop already knows where he's going and whatnot. So, but they said when he's 18 or when they feel he's ready, they'll say, "I'm here."
Yep.
But but yeah. So and that was yesterday, I think. Oh, Manchester City. That's what it was. Okay.
No, Pork Chop feels about Manchester
Pork Chop
City.
must. And here's the fact that I know about this much about the Premier League. Now, mind you, a couple of years ago, there you go. You beat me to it. Manchester United fan. You beat me to it. But that's why. I know a little bit. I mean, back in the first iteration of NBCSN, because NBCSN is back.
Right.
It's on 1211 on my cable system, maybe the same on yours.
I think
Because
it's 36 on mine.
you're out of the city, so.
Yeah.
But oh, do they have a non-HD channel?
I think that's all.
Because you said channel 36.
Yes, 36. Yeah. 30. In fact, it's actually 33 and 36. They have both of them. Well, one is Sports Network and one is NBCSN.
Do you have you have Comcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Xfinity.
Xfinity, Comcast. It's like that's like polishing a turd, changing the name from Comcast to Xfinity. Same shit service, just a little shinier. But yeah. So could the Union make the playoffs?
It's possible.
I mean, if they do, they do. But also next year you have a sprint season where they're going to play from February to June thereabouts. And Pork Chop will be correcting me if I'm wrong. They're going to have a playoff. Then they're going to take the summer off. Then when they come back, they're going to start a new season. And that season will align with the international schedule. Because the one thing is, the MLS, for the last 30 years, they had... See, there you go. Once again, I'll show you what Pork Chop says. So, Pork Chop's like, damn, he really does know his stuff. But, they're going to have a sprint season, a short 14-game season, and then onto the Euro calendar.
Okay.
Because the U.S., the MLS is one of the leagues that doesn't conform with the international calendar that most other countries do. But the only thing is the United States does not conform with promotion and relegation.
Yeah.
And I think Mexico is getting rid of promotion and relegation, their league. But I think my opinion of why there isn't promotion and relegation in the United States in any sport. Well, first of all, NFL, you only have one league. Where are you going to relegate them to? Mexico?
Sure.
You're going to relegate them to the Southeast Conference, the American Conference, the MAC, FCS. You see what? But so you have that. Basketball, you only have two leagues. Baseball, as you know from me talking about it with potentially starting out of the park baseball. And just a coincidence I wore this today,
Okay. I was kind of wondering.
Just coincidence. But you have baseball is probably the best set up to ditch everything and go promotion relegation, which I'm going to do on out of the park baseball because you can set that up. And I went to ChatGPT. I said, retrieve all the teams in 2026 that are in Major League Baseball. And what they did was, and ChatGPT actually went and said, well, the Athletics are going to Vegas in 2 years, so we're just going to call them the Las Vegas Athletics.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, thank you. Because it must have been reading my mind because when I start playing the game on here, it's going to be starting in 2028. Now, I don't know how to write the backstory. Here you go. Once USL gets their Pro Rel League running smooth, I'm betting MLS buys them out and thus creates a full US soccer period. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Or one buys the other. I mean, it's going to be MLS buying the USL out, but because USL, those games are on CBS Sports Network, and CBS 8 the Ocho. But I mean, even though it's never going to happen, even though baseball will never go to promotion relegation, I think baseball is best set up for promotion relegation because I went to ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
Get me the 30 teams from Major League Baseball from this year. Get me the 30 teams from AAA, 30 teams from AA, 30 from High A, 30 from Low A or Single A.
Right.
Now I skipped over the rookie leagues because they're just the Arizona and Florida
Right.
rookie leagues, complex leagues they're called,
Mhm.
and basically it's the Florida Complex League Phillies and the Florida Complex League Yankees, let's say, and they play at the Clearwater site, and they play in the Tampa, something like that. So, and then I said, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to get brave here. Get all the independent teams, and I had to tell them to do it league by league
Mm-hmm.
because I set up a pattern of 30 teams in each of the first 5 levels. I was like, well, add these other teams. So it took a couple of tries, but it was 232 teams because I added the MLB Partner League.
Right.
I added the MLB Draft League of 6 teams. Now, granted, these were all going to be at independent level, even though they're like different levels. The Pecos League and the Empire League. Empire, what used to be the Empire State League, is now the Empire League because they have a wing in upstate New York and they have 4 teams in LA. So it all works out, 232 teams in. I said to ChatGPT, align these divisions, just make sure there's 4 more teams, and if they end up being uneven, whatever, I don't give a shit. And it worked out pretty well. And ChatGPT created the maps for me and everything. So, and at the end of the season, I will have one big playoff. Now, in soccer in the United States, you have the U.S. Open Cup, which is all the U.S. teams. It's based off of the different league ladder-wide competitions that they have, where everybody that has a team can play in this tournament.
Okay.
And at least in England, every level has a round that they join into the tournament. The FA Cup, that's what it is. I beat you, Portugal. So every round you have everybody in the tournament joining in. So maybe the 5th round, the top level, the English Premier League gets in, and little by little. So I'm doing things a little bit differently. And there's a guy, Baseball Dreamland. He actually rated me. He was on here one night and he rated me. He sent 100 people. I'm like, what the fuck? But what I'm planning on doing, and this may be what I start with, I have 2 options here. Either I play with the Phillies, or I have one of these. Let me see if I can find it here. It's here somewhere. Wheel of Names. Now, this is just something default here. I can go on here and fill this out with all 230 some names, 230 some teams.
Yeah, okay.
And I will even weight it to the point where the MLB teams have the biggest slice of the pie, and those in that 6th level are like this much.
Right.
And I may do that where that ends up being my team for the year, or it could be a whole different wrinkle to gaming on my own.
Hmm.
So all kinds of different options I have here. So, but that is all set up and ready to go. I'm at the initial draft point because
Right.
I sat here one night and typed all 232 names.
I can believe that.
Actually, a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday, I did the entire Sunday. But I I think, with promotion and relegation, I would like to see that in baseball. I think baseball is best set up, but because of the whole farm side, I've said to you so many different times. And when I talk about this, is it going to happen in baseball? No, never. Because we are so rooted in the farm system set up over the last 80 years
Yeah.
since Branch Rickey, it's not going to happen. But I just got to work on the preamble story that leads into it, like one. And it may just be that I have it that Major League Baseball decided, well, we're just changing things up now because you got to draft these players onto these teams. And I might have to redo this because of the fact that different teams, to get the player. Because what I want to do, I want to draft all the players in history and have them be in part of this initial draft, if I can do it. Because there's a lot of things I got to figure out, but even if I have a bunch of,
Who the fuck is that guy?
even if I have that,
Right.
better than nothing, right?
True.
Be a little fun. So that's something that I definitely want to do, and it's a matter of, do I do it as a regular Phillies thing where I'm just basically saying it's going to be, this is a make or break season. Let me see if I can elongate this window and make sure it doesn't completely shut on me. Because we agree the window is closing on this team.
Definitely.
So I'm just in my head every once in a while. I'm like, well, this whole thing, how do I do it? What's the backstory to it? That's what I want to do. Because that first episode, you're like, well, what happened here? But and I told you what the name of that whole ladder is going to be called, didn't I?
Did you?
The new baseball world order.
Yeah. I remember that. Right.
So, and that's my wrestling reference of the night, because if you saw my article on Saturday, I dropped a Joe Hendry reference. And I know what you're saying.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
But, he's got a catchy song, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. And he pops out, you mention his name and he pops out from this nanny. And you can tell you can tell he watches WWE as well. Can we fire Logan Paul? Now, I even said this to Steve because he was at Constadter's on Wednesday. I told him, I said, listen, because I have that ESPN package because it's now free with Xfinity.
Okay.
Yeah, I might watch a PLE now and then, but I'm not deep into the storyline like, oh my God, this happened and blah, blah, blah. And he loves Joe Hendry. And I can't play the song because this will be taken down off of my YouTube. And he just watched Raw because it's on Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so I'm not deep into the storylines. Like, for example, tonight, next thing you know, I'll look up on Instagram when I'm looking at a thing or two. Next thing you know, I'm seeing these 2-minute snippets on the WWE Instagram because it's in my algorithm now. But I'm not actually like, oh my God, da 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 da. But and and we've had this statement before as well. I don't consider wrestling fake. I don't think that's the right word to describe wrestling. And Pork Chop is chomping at the bit to type something here. I don't necessarily say it's fake. I just say that they are predetermined. He calls it physical theater. That's another good example there.
There is another good example.
Physical theater. I just say predetermined.
Okay.
Because, there are legitimate injuries in WWE, and there's the storyline injuries,
I say physical theater because their name is World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah, because World Wildlife Federation sued them.
Oh, for
and
WWF?
Yeah, because both were using it.
That's right.
And the animals found the strength. So, but yeah, physical theater, whatever you want to call it. They do, and things get botched from time to time.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that is going to be it for this show. I do appreciate everybody watching. I saw a couple people popping in and out here during the show because especially on Twitch, because I have the stream manager up here, and Pork Chop joining in, especially the wrestling segment, also the soccer segment as well, because we were talking soccer there as well, and not necessarily soccer, but promotion, relegation, and something like that. We were going all over the place there at the end, like we always do. But just the way it is, and we're getting to the 2-hour mark here. So, Mike, thank you for coming up here this week.
Of course.
Just to let you know, he was suspended last week, so he was not able to come. He tried to Ketel Marte me, and I said, no, you stay home. You're not going to Ketel Marte me. I'm the star here. Don't you know who I am?
Yes, I know who you are. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And just to let you guys know, those are watching, even watching after the fact, I'm probably going to be at Parks tomorrow getting some stuff for the Q&A Racing YouTube, not YouTube, the Q&A Racing Facebook page. And I believe you're following that. I sent Steve some invites too as well. So I think everybody's good with that. So, so some stuff will be there tomorrow, hopefully. I'm going to be taking my second phone with me.
Whoa.
Because that has better cameras.
Gotcha.
Because my 15 here is saying that I need to clean the lens. No, I think the camera's going bad, but whatever. But anyways, Mike, thank you once again.
Yep.
And I'll be live tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Well, unless I get so completely burnt that I don't go, that I can't make it to this chair, or I get kidnapped by someone. But anyways, Mike's like, what the fuck is he? Okay. Anyways, that's it for now. Let me close this out before I get myself in any more trouble. So, Pork Chop, thank you once again. And I'll see you guys Tuesday, tomorrow at 9 o'clock. If you're watching on the other channels, twitch.tv/Joe Quills, right there right underneath my picture there. And follow, subscribe, and gonna start gaming soon. Some Out of the Park baseball. Just coincident I'm wearing the shirt today, but hey, since I'm wearing it, I might as well use it, So thanks again, everybody.